think the environment is primed for more mergers of equals. I say that because we have a low interest rate environment, we have high competition, and as banks have a continued desire to grow and take advantage of the efficiencies from being larger entities, there's going to be a desire to continue to give that return on investment as well as to increase net income and to do it in a way that doesn't take on additional credit risk. So I think banks are going to look for ways to be able to continue to maximize those efforts.
Past lessons learned from mergers of equals have told us that getting back to day-to-day operations as quickly as possible is key to a successful merger. Being able to put the time in upfront in the due diligence phase will be key for a smooth transition. And also, identifying a leadership team early on will be very important for moving forward with a successful merger. If cultures are too different, then it creates operational burdens. Companies need to be very deliberate with culture, choose one culture and execute against that culture, and choose a leadership team that's going to champion that culture.
I would say beyond culture, some of the other concerns and considerations to keep in mind in a merger of equals would be that of, do we have the right people in place? A CFO or a CEO at a $4 billion bank that mergers with an equal of another $4 billion bank, are they the right person to take you to a $10 billion bank? The rules change a little bit and the environment changes. So are they the right people? So do we have the right people on the bus in the right seats? In addition to people, do we have the right controls, the right processes? And one of the things that I think is really key is, do we have great board oversight to make sure that we have the proper shareholders and those that are invested in this at the table to make sure that this merger is going to be successful?
My advice to banks who want to pursue an MOE in 2020 is, don't forget to bring tax in early in on the process. There are lots of opportunities out there for tax savings and tax planning opportunities and strategies, but if you don't bring tax in early on, then sometimes you give up those opportunities. Other advice would be, don't overpay for a transaction. That paying too much of a premium may get you into a situation where you haven't saved enough money to redivert those funds to something else that may come up on the back end.
So if my advice for those that were considering a merger of equals in 2020 would be really first to focus on the culture and the aspects of those things. Beyond that, there are several things, one of which, not to be taken lightly, would be the interaction with regulators. You've gone from a $2 billion bank to a $4 billion bank, or a $4 billion bank to an $8 billion bank, or whatever it may be. The regulatory environment is going to be different for your much bigger bank. Make sure you're ready for that size and that scrutiny. It's going to continue to increase, so you need to make sure that you have the proper procedures, proper policies, and control environment to be able to be prepared for that time.